just the whole commercialization of automobiles is one way to look at what the difference between marketing and selling is, but also it's a good way to look at what your competition is, because it always amazes me that on television, for which they're paying beaucoup dollars, that there's one car commercial after the other. You can just say, ooh, I would be interested in that Audi, and then one comes on for a Mercedes, and after that one comes on for a Ford, and then one comes on for a Chevrolet, and they're all in that same time frame. So the other part of that is to pull yourself out of the pack and make sure that whatever you're offering is completely unique and different from anybody else who does what you do.
And that
So,
is the clarity piece. That is it. Is the the foundation? It's what I call my foundation five. It's something I teach my clients. So the foundation five are the five areas you have to be clear. So what's going to make somebody know that they want an Audi versus a Mercedes, as you just pointed out? Well, it's the who they are. That's where the messaging and that's where the positioning and all of those parts of marketing really come into play. And you may not know it, but everything you put out there holds these five elements in it. And the one first is who you serve. The second is the problems you solve. The third is the value you deliver. The fourth is the offer you make. The fifth is the message you teach. And those are all components of every piece of our marketing and every part of us that we put out there. And when we do it right with both soul and strategy, it works effortlessly. We don't have to get tactical and weird, because most women in business, they don't like like you talk about car salesmen. We don't like that whole vibe. We joke about it. We're like used car salesmen. Like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to sell. When you do this well, you aren't working that hard. You aren't having to push somebody or force somebody. It starts to be people self-select, and they want to get into your world and they want to start that relationship with you. And it's up to you to keep that communication strong and to know exactly who you are and know exactly who they are.
yeah, it's and I think that's, by the way, one of the reasons why women are doing so well in the automobile field as
Yes,
salespeople.
exactly.
They are doing. I mean, if you have a woman in your dealership, she is usually the leader in sales, because it's that ability to listen to the prospect and to find out exactly what they're interested in and knowing how to present it to them. So it's quite ironic that after all those years of not allowing women into the showroom, now they're the top salespeople. So
Well, I tell my clients all the time, like, don't avoid this. You're naturally already doing this. It's just about starting to pull it in and understanding it logistically so you know what you do naturally. It's finding, what am I already doing? How do I do it a little bit more out front facing with my business? Because women are fantastic at this stuff, at marketing and selling.
So, what kind of entrepreneurs and businesses do you work with, Christine? And does this work for all of them, or do you have to, change things around depending on who and what they're doing?
Well, in my masterminds, we have people in all levels of business. So, of course, we work with coaches and consultants and corporate trainers, but I also have realtors and I have medical professionals. And what I have found is, yes, this everybody right now is recognizing that in this world where the old models have all completely collapsed, is that when they start to master their marketing and when they start to master their funnel and their sales, and they do it in a way that's really aligned with their mindset. So that absolutely it does work. And what I see that's the common thing across professions, across businesses, is that the biggest sticking points for people, the place they get stuck the most, is in what I call the soul track, which is the soft stuff, which is the mindset. And where they get really lost is in their own mindsets, in their own limitations of what they think is possible. And like what you pointed out, I can't sell, I can't market. And getting them out of their own way on that place is the core piece where the results start to happen. Because when we start working at that soft level, what I always say is soft is the new hard, where soft results, the soft stuff you work on yourself, creates the hard results that you're looking for, because you're the one blocking your own success with your own mindset and your lack of clarity and your own fear and old limiting beliefs. And I don't know if you've seen that. It sounds like you have, since you were talking about the modeling, but I see it time and time again, no matter what the industry is.
Well, do you find that, well, let me ask you this. Of the people that you have coached or who are in your mastermind or that you've worked with in any way, what is the main reason they do not succeed?
Fear.
Fear.
And I think it's actually what Marianne Williamson said in that quote that we all love. It's our power, it's our light that scares us. And I think that it's not our darkness, it's our light. I think she is absolutely right. When it really comes down to us, the thing that I think terrifies most, like really scares women from doing what I call up leveling, because that's my whole thing, is that they get so scared, whether it's of their success or whether it's of not being perfect or whether it's of failing or being seen. That's a huge fear. And or even make their fear of their own relationship with money. When they really look at that and when they can really get that out of their own way, then they're able to just absolutely launch forward. And then the up leveling process, I've seen time and time again. I just was speaking with a client. She started a business from zero. She's already at $500,000. She is now working, like she's created an association in the medical world, and she's getting so much attention that this year, as the year began, she knew she was about to succeed, and she had to go through a new level, a new layer of her own fear. The ceiling that she thought she had reached is actually getting much bigger. So we really had to break down and say, what's in the way right now? And I don't think it stops. I think we trick ourselves and think, oh, I'm going to arrive. But arrival just means you've created a new normal, and that new normal creates more desires.
Well,
And
that's true.
so,
I mean, you're on
yeah,
it. You're on. It's not. They always say it's not the destination; it's the journey. But I do want
totally.
to give our listeners a way to reach you, Christine. How can they get in
Oh,
touch with you?
well, I actually wanted to give a little gift to your readers because I love your show so much. And what I'm doing, I mentioned my Uplevel Your Business program. I wanted to go really give a big one, and I'm giving them the very first module from it because it's all about clarity. It's called Be the CEO of YOU, and all they have to do is go to uplevelyourbusiness.com/CEO. So it's uplevelyourbusiness.com/CEO. And they just get to do the whole first module, which is about all of this stuff we're talking about here. That clarity of who you are as you build and run your business.
Well, that's very generous of you, and I want to thank you, for your contribution today, Christine, because it's been a wonderful example for our listeners, especially people who say, "Well, I don't have a business head, or I've never was meant for business." Here you have somebody who was a performer and a songwriter, and she's got a multi-million-dollar business. So, perfect, and I want to thank you for being with us today.
Well, and Gail, thank you for everything you do. I just love what you're out there doing in the world.